Welcome back to Talk Tickers. Get ready for a deep dive into Amazon's Q4 2024 earnings call.
Oh, yeah, this one's juicy, packed with insights. We're talking record operating income, revenue growth, even a strong dollar couldn't stop, and AI ambitions that are, well, pretty much off the charts.
Let's unpack it all for our listeners, starting with the big picture. Amazon's operating income for Q4, a whopping $21.2 billion.
That's a 61% jump year over year, way past what analysts were expecting. Shows just how well they're executing, even with all the economic ups and downs lately.
And revenue, up 10% to $187.8 billion. They even said it could have hit 11% if the dollar hadn't been so strong.
All right, that strong dollar was a drag on a lot of companies, but Amazon still pulled off some exceptional top-line growth. Shows how resilient their core businesses are and that global reach.
Speaking of reach, can we talk about how many packages they're shipping? Over 9 billion delivered same or next day globally.
It's mind-boggling, right? It's the power of Prime membership and their focus on logistics. They've basically built their own global delivery superhighway.
And they're doing all this while lowering per unit shipping costs for the second year in a row. Those investments in robotics and automation are really paying off.
Exactly. It's the long game. They're willing to put in the work now, tech infrastructure, to drive down costs and improve efficiency in the long run.
So let's break down what's driving this success, starting with, well, pretty much everything they do. Selection, low prices, and convenience.
All those things, yeah. And it's working for them, especially now when people are washing their wallets. They said customers saved over $15 billion thanks to those low prices and events like Prime Big Deal Days and Black Friday.
It's a strategic advantage. Using their scale to offer those lower prices, it brings in and keeps customers even when spending is tight.
Exactly. It reinforces that flywheel effect. Lower prices, more customers, bigger scale, even lower prices. It's tough to compete with that.
And don't forget their third-party sellers. Now they make up 61% of items sold on Amazon. It's a huge shift.
Big time. It shows how Amazon's becoming more of an ecosystem, not just a store. Empowering independent sellers expands their product selection without having to manage all that inventory themselves.
It's brilliant. They offer almost anything you can imagine, solidifying them as the everything store. And speaking of everything, let's talk artificial intelligence, especially within AWS.
AWS is a giant on its own. Revenue jumped 19% to $28.8 billion this quarter. On track for a $115 billion annual business. It's crazy.
And within AWS, it's their AI initiatives that are really captivating. They're not just using existing AI chips, they're developing their own, like the Trainium 2, for even more power and cost savings.
That's crucial. Controlling chip development means they can optimize their AI for performance and efficiency in a way they couldn't with off-the-shelf solutions. It's a really smart move.
Gives them control and flexibility most companies can only dream of. They're building the engine of the AI revolution themselves, from scratch.
And they're not keeping it all to themselves. They're making it available to AWS customers through things like Amazon SageMaker and Amazon Bedrock, really solidifying AWS as the leading platform for AI development.
Smart move. It's not just about building AI solutions for themselves. It's creating a platform so other businesses can tap into it, expanding their reach and influence even more.
That's huge. That democratization of AI through AWS might be just as important as what they're doing internally. It could speed up AI adoption across so many industries, with Amazon leading the charge.
Okay, let's zoom back in on some key highlights from the report itself. Revenue. $187.8 billion, a 10% increase year over year operating income, hit $21.2 billion, a remarkable 61% growth compared to last year.
Those are some serious numbers, and they're trailing 12-month free cash flow adjusted for those equipment finance leases. Sitting at a healthy $36.2 billion gives them room to keep investing in growth and solidify that competitive advantage even more.
It's clear their strategy is working. Let's look at some of the specifics driving this success, starting with speed and convenience. That same-day delivery site expansion, over 60%, is huge.
It's more than huge. It's essential in e-commerce these days. People expect things almost instantly, and Amazon's delivering. It's no wonder Prime membership keeps growing.
And they're not just expanding same-day delivery. They're investing in the whole fulfillment infrastructure. Like their redesigned U.S. inbound network. It's all about better inventory placement and efficiency, reduces costs, and speeds up deliveries.
It's amazing how they're doing both, growing and becoming more efficient. It shows how good they are operationally, constantly innovating and optimizing. They're not afraid to tear things down and rebuild if it means doing it better and faster.
And we can't forget sustainability, reducing packaging and transportation costs. Good for their bottom line and the environment.
Absolutely. Sustainability matters to people, and Amazon's proving you can be a global powerhouse and still care about the planet. It's a win for everyone.
Now, before we move on to part 2 of our deep dive, let's look at another part of their business that's exploding. Their advertising platform, $17.3 billion in Q4 ad revenue, an 18% jump year over year.
That's a $69 billion annual run rate just from advertising, more than double what it was 4 years ago. It shows how powerful their platform is and how many people they can reach.
They're becoming a real advertising powerhouse. And this is just the beginning. They have everything from brand awareness to point-of-purchase advertising, using all that customer data and reaching people across their platforms.
That's the key, right? That data, they know what people are searching for, buying, interested in. It lets them target ads in a way other platforms can't. It's gold for advertisers.
All right, that's it for part 1 of our deep dive into Amazon's Q4 2024 earnings call.
Be sure to join us for part 2. We'll go even deeper into their strategic moves and what they mean for the whole industry. Back again for more Talk Tickers, still diving into Amazon's Q4 2024 earnings call.
There's a lot to cover, yeah. Last time, those phenomenal financials, a bit about their logistics and advertising.
Yeah.
But Amazon, they're all about the future.
Absolutely, and that's where their strategy comes in. This wasn't just looking back, it was a peek at how Amazon's shaping the future of, well, pretty much everything.
One thing that kept coming up was efficiency and cost cutting. Like they built this machine to squeeze every ounce of value out of every single process.
Not just squeezing, it's smart design. Like that redesigned U.S. inbound network, better inventory placement, sure, it cuts costs, but it also gets products to customers faster.
Which is everything these days. But it's not just logistics, they're robotics and automation investments. They're playing a huge role in this efficiency drive.
It's not replacing people, it's helping them. Imagine robots doing those repetitive tasks in the warehouses. Makes things safer, frees people up for more complex stuff.
Like a sci-fi movie, but real. And the environmental side. Less packaging, shorter trips. Amazon's growth is lining up with those sustainability goals.
It's a good move. More and more people care about that. Amazon's showing you can be profitable and planet conscious.
Now let's talk about the big one. Amazon isn't dipping their toes, they're diving head first.
The investment they're making, infrastructure, chips, talent, it's incredible. They're building the base for an Amazon where AI is everywhere.
And developing those custom chips like Trainium 2, that's a real game changer. Cost and performance edge, that's hard to beat.
Their secret weapon in the AI race. But here's the thing, they're sharing it. AWS customers can use it, services like Amazon SageMaker, Amazon Bedrock.
Win-win, right?
Yeah.
Amazon gets better AI, and they become the place to be for businesses wanting to use it. Talk about power moves.
It's huge. This whole democratization of AI through AWS is going to have effects way beyond just buying stuff online, healthcare, finance, everything. Amazon's becoming the gateway to the AI revolution.
It's not all easy, though. What about the challenges, the bumps in the road for Amazon moving forward? Cloud computing's getting crowded.
You got AWS is still on top, but Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, they're gaining Amazon. Can't relax, especially with the whole global chip shortage. That makes things even tougher.
And then there's those AI-powered e-commerce platforms, those startups. They're using AI to personalize shopping in ways that could challenge Amazon.
Classic David and Goliath. Amazon needs to stay agile, keep innovating to fight them off. Plus, there's the constant watch from those antitrust regulators.
The bigger they get, the more scrutiny they face. It's a balance, growing, but staying on the right side of the law.
Definitely. But even with all that, things look really good for Amazon 2025 and beyond. They've got a history of innovation, tons of loyal customers, and leaders who are always thinking ahead.
They're betting on AI, robotics, logistics. It's setting them up for more growth, more profit, even with those headwinds. It's like they're not just playing the game, they're writing the rules.
Remember back in part 1 how we talked about Amazon's advertising business just exploding? Let's dig into that a bit more. It's not just a side gig, it's making serious money.
More than doubled in 4 years. Tells you a lot about how well their platform reaches shoppers at every stage.
Full funnel advertising, it's what marketers dream of, reaching people from when they first hear about a brand to when they buy something. And with all that data, they can target so precisely.
It's a level of targeting that, well, most advertising can't touch. And as they get more into streaming, video, and audio, that ad business is going to keep growing like crazy.
Definitely something for investors to watch. Now, let's zoom out a bit. Look at how Amazon's doing more than just online shopping. Their healthcare move, Amazon Care, that's bold, could really disrupt things.
Think about it. Affordable, good healthcare, right through your Amazon account. Virtual appointments, prescriptions delivered, personalized health advice. It's healthcare for the digital world.
Then there's Project Kuiper, their satellite internet plan. Connect millions of people who don't have access now, close that digital divide, open up so many opportunities.
These might not make money right away, but they show Amazon's long-term vision. They want to solve big problems, make a real difference. It's not just about shareholders, it's about doing good.
That's a good perspective, especially in business where everyone's focused on what's happening now. Amazon's playing the long game, investing in things that could change entire industries, make life better for so many people.
Before we wrap up part 2, let's talk international expansion. They're not happy just dominating the U.S. They want to be a global powerhouse.
Their growth in India is a great example. They're a major player there, investing in logistics and infrastructure, adapting to how things work in India.
India's huge, growing fast, and Amazon's doing everything right to become the leader there. And it's not just India, they're pushing into other markets too, Latin America, Southeast Asia.
Of course, going international is not simple. Different rules, cultures, competition, it's tricky. But Amazon's good at adapting.
They experiment, they learn from mistakes, they adjust to win. That mix of ambition and flexibility, it's what makes them so tough to beat anywhere.
Before we move on, gotta mention one of Amazon's biggest strengths, how they treat their customers. It's legendary. Fast shipping, easy returns, personalized stuff, amazing customer service. They're known for going above and beyond.
That obsession with making customers happy, it's part of who they are. Always finding ways to make things easier, more enjoyable. And that's earned them a level of loyalty most companies would kill for.
That customer focus is a big reason they're so successful. Happy customers come back, they tell their friends. It's a cycle they've mastered.
Now, think about how Amazon's success is changing the whole retail world, their dominance online. It's had a huge impact on those traditional stores.
No doubt. A lot of them have struggled to keep up with Amazon's prices, selection, and delivery. Some couldn't compete, had to close up shop.
But it's not all bad news for physical stores. Some are figuring out how to adapt. They're using their stores to offer things you can't get online.
Personal service, cool in-store experiences, using tech to make things better. It shows how retail keeps changing, and the ones who change with it will make it.
Amazon's rise has also sparked innovation in other areas,
Right.
like logistics and supply chains, their robotics, automation, delivery networks. It's raised the bar for everyone.
Now other companies are catching up, investing in the same kind of tech to be more efficient, streamline their operations. It's good for everyone, pushes the whole industry forward.
Okay, as we finish part 2, let's think about what we can learn from Amazon's journey. The biggest takeaway. Long-term thinking. Amazon's always investing in things that might not pay off right away, but could be huge down the road.
They're not afraid to wait for the big payoff. They go for those big ideas that could change the world. It's about patience, vision, and being okay with some risk.
Another lesson, make your customers happy. Amazon's focus on that has been key to their success.
They know that loyal customers are what keeps a business going, and they do everything to make them happy. That's a mindset any company can use, big or small.
And finally, Amazon shows the power of always innovating. They never settle, they keep pushing, they embrace new tech.
They experiment, they're okay with failing, they learn from it. That's kept them ahead of the curve, disrupting one industry after another.
These are good lessons for anyone, not just businesses. Think long-term, care about your customers, keep innovating. Those can help you succeed in anything.
Join us for part 3. We'll explore what's next for Amazon and how it's going to change the world.
And we're back, Talk Tickers, wrapping up our deep dive into Amazon's Q4 2024 earnings call.
We've been through a lot. They're incredible numbers. Their strategies with AI, logistics, going global. Now, the big question, what's next for Amazon?
It's a tough one, but one thing's for sure. They're not slowing down. It's like they're constantly evolving, changing the world around them.
It's not just about size. It's that drive to innovate, to be better.
Right.
Their AI investments, those could really change things. So many sectors, healthcare, transportation, finance, everything.
You imagine AI doctors diagnosing things instantly, perfectly. Or self-driving cars powered by Amazon tech, making roads safer, more efficient.
Sounds futuristic, right? But it's happening now, and Amazon's leading the way. Their cloud platform, AWS, it's already powering some of the most innovative companies out there.
And with them developing their own AI chips, those AI-powered services, AWS is set to become the big name in AI. It's like they're building the foundation for the future.
It's smart. They're not just building AI for themselves. They're making the platform for everyone else to use it too. It's a win-win, puts them at the top of this whole AI revolution.
Now let's talk healthcare. Amazon Care, that's a bold move, could shake things up big time.
Exactly. Think about it. Affordable, quality healthcare all through your Amazon account, virtual visits, prescriptions delivered to your door, personalized health advice. It's healthcare built for the digital world.
It could make healthcare easier, more convenient for so many people.
Mm.
And then there's Project Kuiper, their plan for satellite internet.
Yeah, the goal is to connect everyone, even in those remote areas, close that digital divide. It shows how Amazon's using their tech for good, solving those big problems, making a difference.
It's not just about profits for them. It's about pushing boundaries, leaving something good behind. But the bigger they get, the more people worry, right? About competition, privacy, the future of work.
It's a valid concern. More power means more responsibility. We have to talk about the downsides of Amazon being so big. Find that balance, encourage innovation, but protect people and workers.
It's a conversation that needs to happen as we figure out this whole digital age thing. The future of Amazon is tied to the future of the world, really.
It's exciting, a little scary too. But one thing's for sure, Amazon's going to keep being a major player, shaping how we live, work, how we interact with everything around us.
Okay, before we wrap up, time for our This Is Not Financial Advice segment. Ready for a crazy but maybe possible trade idea.
Always hit me.
What if Amazon created an AI marketplace within AWS? A place where developers could buy and sell pre-trained AI models for anything, marketing, medical diagnoses.
Whoa, that's actually brilliant. It'd be like an app store. But for AI, everyone could access this tech, could be a huge new source of revenue for Amazon.
Imagine, businesses could just grab ready-made AI solutions. No need to spend a fortune developing their own. It could change how AI is used across every industry.
It's a big idea, but knowing Amazon, it's not impossible. Definitely something to watch out for.
Of course, we're just speculating here, not giving financial advice. But it's fun to think about, what if Amazon keeps shaking things up? And that's a wrap for our deep dive into Amazon's Q4 2024 earnings call.
It's been a wild ride. Hope you learned something new about this incredible company. Until next time, keep diving deep.